Kevin Chang here from Do Your Dream Work. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to implement an event RSVP flow using Thrive Architect. Now what I mean by this is you giving your members the ability to RSVP to an office hour session or any other live event that you are offering as part of your membership. Now, why would you want to do this? Now, why can't you just notify your members that, hey, this is going to be an office hours coming up, and attend that office hours if you're interested? Well, the benefit to your member is that they want to attend that office hour session or the live training, but like you, like everyone else, they're busy. And they also face a ton of distractions left and right. We've probably never been more distracted than we are now in human history. So it's actually highly likely that in the absence of any reminders, they're going to forget and miss attending that office hour session that they want to attend. Now, having this RSVP flow allows them to get an automated email upon RSVPing to that event. And with the link in that email, they can put that event, that office hour session, onto their Google Calendar and then get email reminders as time goes on and as it gets closer to the event so that they don't miss it. The benefits to you, there are short and long-term benefits. Short-term, members who are more engaged in your membership because they're attending your live trainings, your office hours, etc., they're more likely to consider buying your follow-on products and services. Now, longer term, there's an important benefit. As well-known technologist Kevin Kelly famously said in his famous essay, you can earn a full-time living running a digital business if you can cultivate 1,000 true fans. Now, a true fan is one that engages actively in your membership. They're the folks who sign up for and attend your live trainings, your office hour sessions, etc. And during these events, they ask questions, they actively interact with you because they really want to gain the knowledge. They want to have access to your insights. They want to make progress. Now, clearly, it's advantageous for you to know who these people are. So a key first step in cultivating your 1,000 true fans is to keep track of who they are. And by offering this RSVP, their info gets passed along to an email list that you set up in your email marketing service devoted to keeping track of who is attending your office hour sessions, your live events, etc. Again, these are the folks who will benefit the most from your products and services and your membership, and they're the ones who will form the foundation for supporting you sustainably as a full-time digital business. So all right, now, before I get going showing you this, I just want to quickly mention that if you have the full Thrive suite of products, then obviously what I'm going to talk about and show you in this video will apply to you. But even if you just have the standalone version of Thrive Architect, everything I'm going to talk about and show you in this video will also apply because all you need is Thrive Architect. So right now, I'm going to start by first demoing what your member will experience when they click on RSVP. Now, it will include them getting this automated email, giving them the link to put the office hour session onto their Google Calendar. And then right after that, I'm going to show you how to implement step by step this RSVP flow within Thrive Architect, and also the part afterwards within your email marketing service. All right, then, let's get right to it. Again, I'm going to demo for you right now what your paying members will experience when they click on this RSVP button to RSVP for your next office hours session. And the notification for that, as you can see, is right under the upcoming events, right here within the notifications panel at the top here. And right before I start the demo, I just want to quickly mention that what you're looking at here is a generic member dashboard for any membership site. So if you have a membership site or if you're planning a membership site, I've made a video that walks you through step by step from scratch how I built, edited, and customized this member dashboard to look substantially like the one you seeing right in front of you right here within Thrive Architect. So again, the notifications panel at the top, obviously that's going to contain notifications to your members. Could be resources that are ready for them to download, and also notifications about upcoming events such as the next office hours that you're seeing here. And then below that is a dashboard section that allows your members to easily click through to access the various components of their membership. So again, if you're interested to see how this dashboard was built step by step from scratch, feel free to check out that video. And I also have another video where I show you how to automate the display of the notifications within this notifications panel, and also about organizing your membership content and events like office hours. And if you're interested, also feel free to check that video out. The links to both videos are in the descriptions below. Alright, now I'm going to get right to demoing a member's user experience when they RSVP to this office hours session. And I'm going to pretend that I'm a member of my own membership. So I'm on my member dashboard, and note that I am logged in. On the top left here, there's my name and my user photo. And I see that there's a notification for the next office hour session. There's the date and time for it. And the topic of it is going to be on meal planning. Now, I know the way that Kevin likes to run his office hour sessions. At the top of the hour, he's going to talk about a topic of interest. And now I do want to know more about meal planning. So that is a topic of interest to me, and the day and time works for me. So yeah, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to RSVP here. All right, this brings me to the next screen, and it says, just review your info below, then click the RSVP button, and you're all set. All right, so yep, this is the office hour session I am RSVPing to, August 9th at 2 p.m. meal planning. That's the right one. And yep, this is my name, and this is my email address. And I like the fact that I don't have to type in my own information again. It's all right there for me to do. All I'm doing is just checking it's the correct information, which again it is. Now I have my email address or part of it blurred out for obvious privacy reasons. And so this is me. I am ready to RSVP. I'm going to just click this button. All right, it says, awesome. You are now signed up for this office hours event. So a message just popped up, and it's just notifying me that I have successfully signed up for this office hour session. And then the last sentence here of that message, which went away by now, said, oh, and look for a confirmation email in your inbox. So all right, going to my inbox now. And yep, there's the confirmation email. Click on it. You are all set for the office hours on August 9th. That's the subject of this email. In the body of this email, it says, hi, Kevin. You've successfully signed up for this upcoming office hours session. I have a lot of great info to share with you, and I look forward to seeing you in this session. I look forward to having you in this session. And then it says, if you use Google Calendar, here's a handy link to easily add this to your calendar. Oh, how convenient. This guy Kevin at Do Your Dream Work really seems to know what he's doing. And I do use Google Calendar, so I'm going to just click on this now and put it on my calendar so I don't forget. All right, there I've put it on my calendar. All right, so again, this is the processing flow that your member will experience as they RSVP for this office hour session or whichever the event is. Now, let's go through what you as the membership site owner would do to implement this using Thrive Architect. So now, when your member clicks through to RSVP for this office hour session, this will bring them to an RSVP page that summarizes what they're signing up for. Now, you do want to have an RSVP page because presumably you could, on the member dashboard page here, when they click on this RSVP button, just send that information to your email marketing service. But you do want to have this RSVP page that summarizes everything because your member is signing up for something. So you want to, before they officially sign up by clicking this RSVP button here, show them exactly the details of what they're signing up for. Now the detail that's especially important is their email address here, because the main benefit of RSVPing for your members is the email reminders that they'll get that go to their email address. This one here already pre-populated in this email address field, so that as time goes by and it gets closer to the office hour session, they'll be sure to not miss it because they'll be reminded. And so you're giving them a chance here to check that this is the email address they want those email reminders to go to. And the other thing that you notice here that makes sense is that your members' name and email address are already pre-populated on this page. And now if for some reason this is not the case and their name and email address aren't already pre-populated here, this would actually confuse them and be a bit annoying to them because it got here from their member dashboard, so they were already logged in. So you should already have their name and email address. So they shouldn't need to type them in again in order to RSVP. And so now, as you can see here, this info is already pre-populated, and Thrive Architect has a cool feature that does this. And I'll walk you through setting up this process right now. Alright, I'm going to first load this RSVP page into Thrive Architect. So just hit the Edit with Thrive Architect on a black bar. Alright, it's going to look a little compressed left to right because we do need room for the left sidebar for editing. So I'm going to actually collapse the left editing sidebar. And now this looks like what we had before. So now, first of all, what I did to make this RSVP page was just that I took the member dashboard, I made a copy of it, I just cloned it. Then on the clone member dashboard, I just removed the center column here on top, the latest news column. So what's left are the member's photo and name, and then the upcoming events section. And then I also got rid of the entire My Dashboard, the dashboard section with the membership components. And then what's left looks roughly like this. Now, where in the member dashboard, it says upcoming events. I edited that text to be what you see here on a RSVP page. It's hi, the member's name, then just review your info below, then click the RSVP button and you're all set. And then at this point, the only difference between the RSVP page and the member dashboard is this form below. And this is of course the crucial element because this passes along when the member clicks RSVP, their info to your email marketing service. And of course, an important aspect, as I mentioned, is that their info is already pre-filled into the name and email address fields. So now I'm going to show you how to add this form element, connect it to the email marketing service, and pre-populate these fields with the member's information. And I'm going to start by getting rid of the form element, and I'm going to bring back the sidebar. Then here, I'm just going to delete the form element. Alright, so now we add this form back in by going to the element tray, which is the right sidebar, and click the plus symbol add element. The tray slides out, and what we want to add is the lead generation element because that connects to your email marketing service. So I'm going to scroll down, and here it is, and just drag this to below the office hours element. Now, as you've heard me say many times now, I'm sure, Thrive Architect always gives you a pretty extensive list of templates to choose from as starting points for your design. And so definitely go ahead and pick a design that's closest to what you want. But know that whichever design you choose at first, you can always edit and customize it to what you like. The template you pick here is just the starting point. Now what I chose here is just the top left form template. It says opt-in form 02. So just click that. So this form matches the rest of what I'll call this RSVP panel here really well. It takes on the same light green background color, and that's partly why I chose this form. And then the other reason I chose it was I just wanted simplicity. I wanted the form to just have the name and email field because that's all that it really needed to have, and a nice big RSVP button, which it has. Now, because this is so close to what I have in mind and wanted on this form, I only needed to edit a few things to make it look exactly like this finished form. And now I'm going to go through these edits here. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to edit aspects pertaining to the form fields, the name, email, and phone as is shown here. Now, first I'm going to get rid of the phone field because in my case, I don't ask for and keep the phone numbers of my members. And that's simple to do. In the left editing sidebar, in these horizontal gray bars here, these represent the fields name, email, and phone. And on each of these gray bars to the right, there is a trash can, and you just have to click that to remove the phone field. Then I'm going to remove the labels on the name and email field. Now the labels are the words name and email above the fields themselves. And my members' names and email addresses are going to be pre-filled, pre-populated, as I mentioned before, in these fields. So these labels really aren't needed, so I'm going to get rid of them. So just click on the pencil icon on the gray bar for the name field first. And there are two toggle switches here. The second one says show label. We just want to turn that off. Then if we hit apply, we'll see that the label is gone. Let's do that for the email field as well. Pencil icon, turn the show label toggle switch to off. Hit apply. Now we're going to specify which specific fields we want Thrive Architect to pre-fill in these fields here. So in my case, I want my member's first name into the name field and their email address pre-filled into the email field. So for the name field, for the gray bar in the left sidebar for the name field, again, the pencil icon, and this time scroll down to autofill settings, then click on autofill. In the first option here, this drop down you can select, it says select variable type. You want to click onto that and you want to select user data. Again, your members are going to be users on your WordPress site. Then the drop down below user data, it says select user data. This is the specific piece of data for this user that you want to select, and it is going to be WordPress user first name. This is what I want pre-filled into the name field. Now the last field here is a default value. So what should Thrive Architect put here if it can't find your user's first name? Now, if that happens, there is sort of an issue, because if this is a member in your membership, their first name should be a piece of data that's available within WordPress. But still, that aside, I still think it's a good idea to enter a default value to display. In this case, I'm just going to enter first name. Hit apply. Then we just want to do the same thing to specify what information gets pre-filled into the email field. And of course, that's going to be the member's email address. So pencil icon, autofill settings. Similarly, user data. This time, the specific piece of user data is their email address. WordPress user email. Default value, I'll just say email. Apply. Now again, as I mentioned before, you want to do this pre-filling of these fields because if you remember when they're RSVPing to an event, if they're asked to enter their name and email again, they will be confused or annoyed that since they're logged in to their membership, that you should already have their name and email, that they shouldn't have to enter it again. So this seems like a small thing, but this is a key part of creating a good RSVP flow for your members. Right now, all that's left to do here is I want to make the text in these fields larger and darker. I'm going to bold these pieces of text so that they're easier to see. And then also replace the text sign up on the button with RSVP. All right, for that, scroll up to this red or orange-ish button that says edit form elements. You're going to click that. Then actually click right into the name field on the left sidebar. Under typography, text size right now is 16 pixels. I want to make that 24. Notice that group editing is in effect, so as I enlarged the text for the name field, it also did the same with the email field text. All right, then I want to bold the text, and all I have to do is just hit bold. I want to make the text even darker, and in the color palette here, there's a slider, and you can set how dark the text will appear. And currently it's set not to the far right where it's the darkest, so I'm just going to slide this slider control all the way to the right. Just drag it to the right, and you can see that the text name and email have gotten darker, and just hit apply. Now what I'm adjusting here, the font size, the boldness, how dark the text is, all these are obviously subjective design related aspects, so certainly feel free to edit and customize these to your liking and not necessarily to what I've chosen here. Right, then let's click on to the button itself. In the button text, RSVP instead of sign up, and make that text larger as well. I'm going to use 26 as the pixel size. And lastly, I just want to give the button a slight drop shadow effect. First, I'm going to hit done at the bottom here. Then scroll down on the left sidebar to shadow. And this is really simple to do. So the right of two options here says drop shadow when you hover over it. Click that. There's a distance parameter. This is the second one down. And by default, it's 8 pixels. I want a more subtle drop shadow distance. So I'm going to set that to 4 instead. Hit apply. Now looking at the name and email field, I actually want a slight drop shadow for those as well. So on the main options, edit form elements again. Actually select the name field. Select shadow on the left sidebar, and similarly drop shadow. And I want a more subtle drop shadow distance of 4. Hit apply and hit done at the bottom here. You can hit done here at the bottom in the center of the screen, or you can hit done at the bottom of the left sidebar. Either one will do. And that just gets you out of the mode of editing the individual fields within this form. All right, that's all the editing I wanted to do for this RSVP form. So I'm going to save and preview. Now previewing this, you see the email is kind of cut off on the right email field here. Now my original finished RSVP page looks like this. And so essentially I've made the name field a bit shorter and the email field a bit longer, since email addresses usually take up more room than the first name. All right, back into Thrive Architect one more time. Select the form, hit edit form elements again. Then as you hover your mouse pointer over this small area between the name and email fields, you can see this double-sided arrow, which means you can adjust the relative sizing. And all you do is just pull in one direction, in this case to the left, and just adjust to however it looks good to you. And I actually don't remember exactly what the relative percentage is. I adjusted the name and email fields too. So this looks like it's close to what I had. So I'm going to hit done again. Save and preview. And we'll see how this looks. All right, the email address fit nicely in the email field, and as you can see, we have edited to basically what I had in the original RSVP page. Now then, when your member clicks the RSVP button, you want to set up what they will see, what they will experience. So let's get into Thrive Architect yet again. Now up to this point, we've set up how the RSVP page should look design-wise, and also what data should be pre-filled into these fields. Now what we're going to do is set up the processing steps. In other words, upon your member clicking the RSVP button, what should happen? And of course, you want to pass the member's name and email address to your email marketing service, specifically into a email list that you've set up to record or capture the data for all your members who are signing up for this specific event, this office hours session, etc. And again, this is so that you can set up to have them put this event onto their Google Calendar so that they can get email reminders so that they don't risk missing this event. And also so that over the longer term, you can set up how you're going to interact with your members who are active and engaging with these events within their membership. And one out of many different possibilities here is that you can potentially offer these especially engaged members a special discount for a follow-on product or service that you offer, or a bonus resource, etc. So now the very next thing we want to do is to connect this form to the email marketing service that you're using, so that this data, their name and email, after they verified it and click the RSVP button, this information will be passed onto the email list you've set up within your email marketing service. So now the email marketing service that I use is ActiveCampaign, but you certainly don't have to be using ActiveCampaign. Whichever email marketing service you use, the connection functionality here that I'm talking about should exist and should work similarly. Alright, you should have already connected your email marketing service, in my case it's ActiveCampaign, to Thrive Suite as a whole, so that wherever when you're using Thrive Suite, whichever tool that you're using, not just Thrive Architect, where it makes sense for you to connect to your email marketing service, the actual connecting to your email marketing service, that just has to be done once, and you don't have to do it again whenever you want to use that connection, like pass some data along to your email marketing service. And that initial API connection is done on the Thrive dashboard. This is the dashboard to this Thrive suite of tools. So here is the dashboard of my WordPress site, left sidebar. Hover over Thrive dashboard, and actually you can just click on Thrive dashboard and then scroll down a little bit to API connections right here, manage connections. All right, and you can see that I have the ActiveCampaign connection already made. Now I'm not going to show exactly how to do it, and really it's a simple one-step thing to do this. You basically enter in some credentials. Now I have already covered this as part of another video, and again, because of how simple this is to do, I'm not going to do it here. Just know that whichever email marketing service that you're using, once the API connection is made, again, you only have to make that once. That email marketing service will show up here when you click on the API connections on your Thrive dashboard. All right, then since the connection is already made, going back to Thrive Architect, all I need to do is just click the green Add Connection on the left sidebar here, and this will list all of the services that I already have an API connection with, and click the drop down, and as expected, ActiveCampaign is one of the listed services, again, that already has the connection to Thrive Suites. Click ActiveCampaign, and now this should list the available email lists that I've set up within ActiveCampaign. And so the drop down says choose your mailing list. Click the drop down. These are the email lists that I've set up, and I want to choose this one, test subscriber 01. The second drop down says choose the form you want to use. We can skip over that one. Then the last field is super important. This is the tags field, and you want to put here the tag that will serve as the trigger to trigger an automated email whenever a member clicks on your RSVP button to RSVP to an event, to send them essentially an autoresponder email that you set up ahead of time. Now, it can say whatever you want it to say. It can say, hey, thanks for signing up to this event. And if you like, within that email, you can have this link for your member to click to easily put this event onto their Google Calendar so they'll get the email reminders. So again, all of this subsequent sequence of events is set in motion or triggered by this tag that you put in here. So it is a crucial piece of information. And now the tag I want to use here is RSVP office hours. Then hit apply. Now the only other thing you have to do here is set up literally what you want your member to see right after clicking the RSVP button. And this could be a thank you page of some sort that says, hey, thank you for signing up for this office hours session. Now, there's an even simpler option, which is just to show a success message. And this will say something similar, but instead of directing them to a thank you page, another URL, this will just simply be a message that pops up for a few seconds. Now, to keep things simple, I'm going to do that here. So after successful submission, this drop down here, the default value is redirect to custom URL. I want to click into that. And instead of redirecting, I'm going to choose show success notification or success message. Hit apply. Then you can enter in the field below that what you want the message to say. Now the message I had entered was, hey awesome, you're now signed up for this office hours. Look for a confirmation email in your mailbox. And you can preview what this success message looks like by just hitting this icon to the right. So again, this is a message that pops up for a few seconds. So now we've done the setup we need to do within Thrive Architect. Importantly, we've connected this specific form, this RSVP form, to our email marketing service. In my case, it's ActiveCampaign. So now the next step is to go to ActiveCampaign to set up the autoresponder email and related processing. All right, now let's go to my ActiveCampaign dashboard. All right, here I am. Now I'm not going to walk through here the nitty-gritty details of the tasks on the email marketing service side, but I am going to walk through conceptually what I've done. Now, this is because one, if you're using an email marketing service other than ActiveCampaign, then obviously you're not going to benefit from me going over the nitty-gritty details of what I did within ActiveCampaign. But also that two, even if you use ActiveCampaign, the tasks and the steps I'm going to show you here, conceptually, these are the common bread and butter tasks that you would do within an email marketing service. So if you've used ActiveCampaign for any length of time at all, you've probably already done and are already familiar with how to do these specific things. So I'm going to walk through conceptually what the steps are. And again, if you're using an email marketing service other than ActiveCampaign, you would go and implement the equivalent activities and steps that I'll talk about here. All right, now, so the tag that I set up just a couple of minutes ago within Thrive Architect that I said would serve as a trigger to trigger an automated email upon a member clicking RSVP. Now, tags are managed in the Tag Manager page, which you get to here within ActiveCampaign on the left sidebar here, Contacts. And on the Contact page, the third item down on the left sidebar menu is Tags. And literally under Add Tags, you can add any tags, any new tags you want to add here. And any existing tags on the right here, you will be able to see and review. And the one that I had entered within Thrive Architect a couple minutes ago is RSVP office hours, which is this tag right here. And then the automated email is going to be set up under automations. So on the left sidebar, automations. And this brings me to the automation section. Here's a list of all my automations. And again, you should have a similar setup in whichever email marketing service that you use. The first automation at the top, confirm RSVP. This is the one that sends an autoresponder to a member who clicks RSVP. And it's a very simple automation and it doesn't need to be complicated at all. So the tag that triggers this automation, as I said, is RSVP office hours is added. And that's exactly what this tag here is. This is the first item. It's the trigger to the automation. And the automation here consists of just a single email. So the item at the top, again, is a tag. And this flow diagram, and this is one of the things that I really like about ActiveCampaign, is you can see visually via these flow diagrams what the processing flow is. So upon a tag of RSVP office hours being added to someone, again, this member who just click RSVP. Then we're going to send an email, and I'm going to click in here. And literally, you create email to create it, and you edit, click this edit button to edit this email. So again, simple and straightforward. And in this email, clearly you can say whatever you want to say. And I just have the text here saying, you've successfully signed up for the upcoming office hour session. I've got a lot of great information I want to share with you in the office hours, and I look forward to having you in this session. Now, if you use Google Calendar, here's a handy link to easily add this to your calendar. And part of this text is underlined because I made this a link. And now here again, if you use Google Calendar, how to get this link to give to someone to put an event that you've set up onto their calendar is probably something you know how to do. So I'll just show here specifically, if you got an event, you would click on the event that you've set up on your calendar. Make sure that it is publicly viewable. Make sure it's set to public. Then on the 3 dots on this pop-up here, it says options. Click on it and you hit publish event. And now the second of the 2 links here, you would hit copy. And that's the link that you would give to your members to easily put on their Google Calendar so they'll get reminders to their inbox as time goes on and as it gets closer to that event. All right, so again, that's the link that I have linked to this anchor text here within this email. And then that's really all there is to it. I'm going to come out to the dashboard for my automation here. And the only detail I want to add here is that while I'm working and editing this automation, this automated email, it's going to be inactive by default. So if you're working within ActiveCampaign, all you have to do is make sure that you switch this automation to active when you're ready to have it go live. Now, it goes without saying that you would go in there yourself or under a tester persona to test this. And this is kind of what I did in demoing how a member would see or experience the RSVP flow earlier in this video. So right now, if you want to watch that processing flow again, feel free to go to that earlier part of the video. I also have a timestamp in the descriptions below that will take you right to it. So all right, now this has been how to set up the processing flow for when one of your members click the RSVP to RSVP to an office hour session or an upcoming event. From the RSVP page that they see to their information being passed along to your email marketing service, and of course to them getting an automated email that allows them to put that event onto their Google Calendar. And as I've mentioned, once you are keeping track of your most actively engaged members within your membership, these are the folks who clearly want to make the most of their membership. They're going to your office hours and using the resources you're providing, etc. It makes sense that they would be among the group of people who would be most likely to purchase other product or service offerings that you have. So you want to keep track of your actively engaged members. And I've shown you here in this video one way of doing that when they RSVP to one of your events. All right, now, if you have any questions at all about what I went over in this video, just ask in the comments below. Now, I mentioned in the intro that this RSVP flow allows you to keep track of who your most engaged members are, i.e. who your true fans are. And I alluded to Kevin Kelly's famous essay about finding your 1,000 true fans, in which he said cultivating 1,000 true fans will support your making a full-time living running a digital business. Now, if you want to check out that essay for yourself by Kevin Kelly, I have the link to that in the description below as well. Now, if you're new here, I'm Kevin Chang from Do Your Dream Work. And on this channel, as well as on my site, Do Your Dream Work, I give you information and share knowledge about how to get through challenges and bust through barriers in running a successful membership site or other digital business. So if you're looking for information on that or other related topic, feel free to check out the other videos on my channel here and also the content on my site, doyourdreamwork.com. All right, I hope to see you in my next video.